currently wet. My house is a complete disaster. I may or may not have pants on. If that gives you any idea as to how this week has gone. Our launch event was last Sunday. I can confidently say after the fact, it was great. Our mentor tried to tell us that the best time to have another win is right after a win. And maybe my favorite thing Kyle's ever said is, that might work for normal people, but in the chronic illness world, we like to do it win, rest, win. We raised over $6,000. Our goal was $5,000. We had a great turnout. All right, so I debated on what I wanted to talk about this week, and I settled on 2 topics. The first being how normal people handle stress, such as a launch event, versus how people with chronic illness handle large amounts of stress. The second thing I want to talk about is the effects of chronic illness on all different areas of our bodies. I'm missing a tooth until further notice because my implant fell out. We'll get to that in the second half of the video. Obviously, I'm not a healthy bitch, so I can only speak on my experience and what I observe as someone with a chronic illness. Quick little disclaimer there. I think a huge thing with having a chronic illness is the constant calculations. If you're familiar with the spoon theory, then you kind of know what I'm talking about. If you don't, Google it so I don't have to mansplain it to you. Not only did I have to handle the stress of putting on a launch event, but I also had to think about the amount of energy it was going to take, the toll that the sun took on how I felt, the amount of standing I was doing, the amount of time I had been awake, all of the heightened emotions, cataplexy. I lose muscle control with heightened emotions such as joy or stress. I'm always striving, for the most part, to become a better version of myself, to push myself past my limits and strive for excellence, everything along those lines. But it is exhausting to not only live in my body, but also be constantly calculating how much more I can push myself before I pay the price. The way I picture it is whitewater rafting. You can handle some bumps, some pretty big bumps, but at what point do you, for the sake of the analogy, row a little too far or hard, I don't know, just roll with it, and end up going off the edge of the cliff. That cliff, for example, could be causing a flare that results in organ damage, arthritis, having to start infusions, injections, chemo, or steroids, because you never know what's going to push you past that edge. There's always that risk-reward kind of analysis that I do in my head, and I kind of do it without realizing I'm doing it, I guess, but is this amount of energy worth it? Because you never know what it's going to be. For example, the launch event. Huge amounts of stress for weeks and the day of, and obviously I'm tired now, and it could have resulted in causing a huge flare. Was that event worth a flare? It honestly puts your life into perspective, and you're able to prioritize your decisions. So I almost think that living life having to calculate the amount of stress you're expending and all the different factors that go into living with a chronic illness, I think it allows you to be empowered to choose events that are worth it. I didn't mean for this to turn into hippie shit, but kind of is. All right, the other topic I wanted to talk about this week was the effects of chronic illness on all different parts of your body. I don't think a lot of people realize that things like lupus, which is typically associated with rashing and issues with your kidneys or arthritis. I don't really know what people typically associate lupus with other than Selena Gomez. This tooth right here. As I stated in a previous episode, I had pneumonia 8 times by the time I was 3 and was just a generally unwell child and adult. My family has really good teeth, but my family also pretty much has good health. I'm special! And having pneumonia so many times and being on so many different medications, it really affected the way my teeth developed as a child. I have the $25,000 mouth. I don't know. You wouldn't be able to tell there's still shit fucked up with my mouth, but whatever. And not just the words that come out of it. Ha 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 ha. Okay, honestly, that was pretty clever. I'm proud of that one. When I was in middle school and high school, I had like 6 different oral surgeries and it was a whole mess. So, point is, I don't have enamel on my back teeth. All of them are crowned. I didn't have cavities as a kid, but my teeth just developed without enamel, which is important because like when I was little, I would try to drink water and I would like be in horrific pain until they did the crowns. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, I now have crowns on my front teeth. Basically for kids that grow up on a lot of medications, they get these spots on their teeth, and I had like big ones on my front teeth, and I don't know if people actually noticed, but it was something I was really self-conscious about, and so I was excited to get them covered. I needed braces not really because my bite was wrong, but because I was really late losing my teeth. I lost my first tooth like towards the end of first grade and lost my last tooth. Well, they were pulled surgically, but I hadn't lost them in middle school. And so they pulled these 2 teeth, and with braces they brought this one down and they tried to bring this one down, but it was a stubborn motherfucker. I have an implant here. My implant fell out last night. I don't have like a ton of, so the way implants work is they take a titanium screw and they screw it into your bone that is in your mandible. Fancy words here tonight. Due to the way my mouth is, I guess, it was in a precarious situation, and so the torque, as I was told today at the dentist, caused it to basically break. Probably had my implant 5 years. I hadn't had any issues, and I honestly didn't think about the fact that I had an implant, and more people have implants than you would think. Yeah, it fell out last night. Which is funny because I have dreams about my teeth falling out a lot of the time, and then it like actually happened, and it was one of those like narcoleptic, a lot of times like narcoleptics sleep so much and they also have hallucinations when they're falling asleep or waking up, and I have very vivid dreams as a narcoleptic, and so it was honestly kind of like one of those deja vu moments where I was like, wait, did this actually happen or did I dream it? And then I was like, nah man, my tooth is in my hand. And then on the way to the dentist, I accidentally put the tooth in the part of my bag that holds my dog treats, so they sanitized it for me. So I'm getting like a retainer with a tooth in it in 2 days, I think, and then hopefully by the end of the week my fake tooth is back inside my mouth. The point of that whole fucking story that no one gives a shit about is there are a lot of things that chronic illness impacts other than the main disease processes involved. So yeah, the more you know. I feel like this was a disaster and I'm gonna quit while I'm ahead. So I hope you have a great week, and to all 4 people that watch this video, thank you, I appreciate it. But yeah, subscribe or some shit. Bye.